how to get better provisions, better salaries, and simply a better overall amount of concern for what us rideshare drivers go through. I want to talk to you folks about David Dew, an individual that I believe is a true ally of rideshare drivers, taxi drivers as well, but anyone who drives and ushers passengers around for a living. I believe this guy is a true ally of ours. Now, I want you to check this news story out. There's a host of things I want to unpack here, but if we're going to get further, get more success, get better salaries, and just simply get folks that give a damn about us drivers in ride sharing, this is how it's done. This is the type of individual we need on our side. Now, this is coming straight out of New York City. I've brought up before how there's a difference in regards to what they're doing in California, state of Minnesota versus New York. And whereas New York City has recently had a victory, whereas the drivers there have earned, or better yet, won a pay raise. Check this out.
Well, you've heard of the phrase, walk a mile in someone's shoes. Well, the new TLC commissioner is doing just that.
That's right. He got his hack license, and as he tells Arthur Chien, his firsthand experience is changing the way things are done at the TLC.
Excited is the best word to describe David Doe.
My biggest goal is to make drivers' lives better.
Doe is New York City's taxi and limousine commissioner, and to make drivers' lives better, he's doing something no commissioner has done before.
So in order to understand what's going on, I had to take a part of the program, right, to get a driver's license with the TLC.
That meant applying for a hack license, a secret he would keep even from his own staff, so he wouldn't receive any special treatment.
I was just like any other student, sitting in a room full of 20 students and learning.
His cover eventually blown when his face showed up on a video shown in class.
And collectively, everyone looks at me and says, "Oh my God, that's the new commissioner." And I was like, yes, you got me.
But Doe was already on his way to understanding the licensing process for drivers, an experience that's directly prompting changes at the TLC.
The long tests, the long lines at some of our facilities, and that's our vendor, right? So how do I work with them to improve services, right?
Now that the TLC commissioner has his very own hack license, he tells us he's not done. He says within the next few weeks, he's going to actually get behind the wheel of an actual taxi cab to give unsuspecting New Yorkers rides around town in an effort to better understand the life of a New York City cab driver.
I'm going to be in a cab at least 100 trips this year. So I'm very excited. I just want to understand just a little bit of what they're going through, be it relief stands, taxi stands, dropping off customers in bus lanes, and following the roadway rules with that.
Walking a mile in their shoes by driving a few shifts in their taxi. Arthur Chien, Fox 5 News.
Does that not sound like a true ally for us in the business that usher passengers around? Not only is he so concerned with the welfare and well-being of drivers, damn it, did he not go out and actually become one himself? Now, you hear him say in the piece there, his biggest goal is to make drivers' lives better. He didn't say nothing about fares. He didn't even say a damn thing about the passengers. He wants to make the lives of drivers better. Where the hell they find this guy? This is the guy we've been talking about. Not talking about strikes or any of that bullshit. We're talking about someone that actually has the power to change laws that give a damn about what we're going through. I just wanted to bring David Dew to you folks because this is a true hero for the shit we're going through. I don't think there's any more of these guys out there right now. Throughout the United States, I'm hearing folks that are fighting on our behalf, but for the most part, it's labor unions and things like that that are trying to fight on our behalf. This guy's a politician. This guy is a politician that's really fighting a good fight. Now, I mentioned Susan, whatever the hell her name is, out of Chicago, that is an older woman that's trying to do something similar. But this guy right here is truly fighting a good fight. Now, he also talked about long lines and things like that. Now, for us rideshare drivers, we do have one benefit that the taxi drivers often complain about, and it's a legitimate complaint. And that is, we do not have the oversight, the rules and regulations that govern us as rideshare drivers that they have to face, which for them, like I said, they have a legitimate argument, makes it difficult to compete with us because they have to get medallions, they have to have their vehicles inspected and a lot of other things. Now, some cities, some markets, we have to have our vehicles inspected, but overall, we do not deal with as much government regulation and oversight as taxi cab drivers do. We don't need meters that have to be inspected. We don't need, well, maybe the lights. I'm just going to say in my market, we don't need to have any symbols on our vehicle at all. But in my market, the taxi cab drivers do. They have to have a meter, because I was going to become one, so I want to bring this to you. For me to become a taxi driver, it's going to cost me $1,000 to outfit my vehicle. I would have to have the logo painted on the side. I would have had to have a light on top, and I would have had to have the meter plus a radio. So it might have been a little bit more than $1,000. As an Uber or Lyft driver, as long as you got a smartphone and a working car, you're good to go. So for us rideshare drivers, that's a huge benefit. But for those taxi cab drivers, it's unfair. So what David Dew is trying to do is balance things out there in New York City. But I just wanted to bring him to you because I believe he's a total ally of us rideshare drivers. But before I let you go, I want you to see another video of this guy in regards to how he got raises for the drivers out there in New York City. Now, notice in this video how he describes what prevented them, or the very best, or at the very least delayed them from getting drivers their raises.
I want to thank the drivers out there for their patience and perseverance when it comes to fighting for this pay raise. I know you've been out there making sure your voices have been heard. I have spoken before about the joy in this room back in November when we passed the previous minimum pay rule. That was an uplifting moment for all of us. That raise would have already happened if Uber hadn't filed a lawsuit to stop it. Now we're in March. 3 months have been lost. Here at the TLC, we have been fighting this whole time to secure that pay raise. I want to thank our legal team, the team at the city's law department, and our policy team for their hard work on this. Uber's litigation used up city's resources, your time, your income, and it has a major cost to all of us.
That is totally jacked up. Here you have the taxi and limousine commissioner stating that we wanted to give you guys a raise months ago, and we had to fight against Uber, fight against their lawyers, costing the city money because they didn't want to give you guys a raise. What's really jacked up about that is the city of New York has always had a very large taxi market, large limousine market, and they were doing fine. In comes Uber, and now this company, because he wants to treat its own employees like shit, are delaying the raises for cab drivers by several months. That makes Uber look horrible. Not only did they come in and destroy the taxi market, but now they're affecting them. The few remaining drivers that are out there cannot get a raise because this asshole company is fighting not to give its own employees a raise, fighting to treat its own employees like shit. Just wanted to let you see that because I do believe David Dew, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, true ally of us rideshare drivers. But it's a damn shame that you got the politicians stating that we wanted to give you what you were asking for, but the people you work for were trying their best to prevent it. That is awful. So every time you interact with these companies, just understand, particularly Uber, I've said before that I believe that Lyft follows in the footsteps of Uber, not trying to make Lyft sound like they're doing anything special because at this point they sure as hell are not. Nevertheless, they did try in the beginning, and they have essentially fallen into the footsteps of Uber. But if you notice, when you see lawsuits, whether they're coming from the passengers, coming from drivers, coming from municipalities, they're almost always aimed at Uber. Because Uber is the one that's treating everybody like shit. They are the ones that are always pushing the envelope, seeing how much they can get away with and what else can they do that is fucking wrong. Lyft follows through with it because they can't compete without doing the same damn thing, but it is Uber. You noticed even that commissioner, he's not bringing up Lyft. Lyft didn't file a lawsuit. Now, when Uber won, then yeah, Lyft is going to enjoy the benefits of not having to pay us any damn thing else as well. But Lyft wasn't trying to prevent drivers in New York City from getting a raise. It's Uber. Same damn thing going on. I showed you videos of California drivers are trying to get a little bit more. Guess who is suing them? It's Uber. Same thing in the city or in the state of Minnesota, in Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul area. The drivers are fighting to get more provisions. Know who's fighting back? It's always Uber. It is always Uber. They clearly had plans from day one to treat us like shit as a goal. That is literally the mission statement of Uber, to treat the drivers like shit until they can replace you with something automated. I don't think there's anything else we need to hear from them to say otherwise. Nevertheless, my next video is going to be about customer service, but I'm pissed off when I see a guy has to go undercover just to help us out when his job is to literally adjudicate things fairly. When you got the commissioner, the politician that's willing to admit, yeah, they treating y'all horrible. But shout out to this guy, because if he's going to go undercover as a driver, as he's saying, he plans on taking 100 rides this year. So shit, that's like, damn near 10 rides a month. So he's going to see a hell of a lot of drama. Hopefully he don't get his ass robbed in the city of New York or murked, because he's going undercover. He even went undercover to the point where his own employees did not know he was trying to become a driver, just to see what it's like. If we had more politicians like that, we wouldn't be going through this shit. So I cannot give any stronger kudos to someone like David Duke, doing it in America's largest, or at least one of our largest ride-sharing markets, probably the largest. What market is larger than New York? New York City. So yeah, shout out to him going undercover boss style and making it clear his only goal is to, improve the lives of drivers. He didn't say nothing about passengers. He didn't say shit about the fares or anything. He made it clear, I'm coming in this to help out drivers. Where the hell they get a guy like this from? I've never heard of any damn thing like this. We need more of him. Can't we clone this guy? Nevertheless, it is your boy Tim. I just wanted to bring this to you because all I could do is listen to that video of him speaking and just go, damn. You know how it works. Anyhow, I'll see you in the next video. As always, subscribe to the damn channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.